Welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
And we do full-length car reviews each and every week. And halfway through, we came up with a segment called Questions, Coffee, and Cars. You liked it, so we've spun it off. We're up to number 71. How do you get a question in?
Follow along on Instagram at Motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Pacific time, I put a post out. Once we gather our questions, the post is deleted. It's only up for a short time, and then we start the show.
Time now for Questions, Coffee, and Cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Hey guys, awesome channel. Thank you. I currently drive a 2020 Lexus IS 300. I do plan on switching to an SUV. I primarily focus on comfort, but also dynamic. Reliability is important, but not my primary focus. I was thinking either an X5 Cayenne or the new GX. What do you think?
What was the first one?
X5 Cayenne or new GX?
Oh, get an X5. You know what, Andrew and I have talked about this. We're sitting in a Porsche Cayenne, and if we had to replace this today with a 2024 model, it wouldn't be the Porsche Cayenne, it would be the X5. I just think that the X5 right now is perfect. It's not perfect, but it's as close to perfect.
The thing is, the Cayenne handles really well, but we just don't love the interior design. It looks a lot like the Taycan. It's not a favorite of ours. The X5 looks great all around, exterior, interior, performance-wise. The new GX is great, but it's bigger than the X5.
And
I don't need
on
a
gas.
big. I don't need a big vehicle
Massive
like
on
that.
gas.
So X5 for sure. When it comes to comfort level, I would say that they're all comfortable. And reliability, X5 gets a great score. The Cayenne gets a great score. And of course, the new model, the GX, hasn't been rated yet, but the previous model from JD Power got an 89 out of 100. That's old.
That's nothing. They're not even the same vehicle anymore.
No.
And so we'll have to wait and see on that one. If it was us personally, it would be, and it hurts us to say this because we've owned 5 Porsches.
Because we love Porsche.
But I would go X5. I mean, when we drove it last summer, the new facelifted one, I just was like, plus it's that engine, that inline 6 is beautiful.
Overall, the X5 is an excellent option right now. Discovered you recently and love your entertaining and informative videos. I have a Scion XA for nearly 20 years. Yes, really, you put in brackets, until it was totaled recently. I'd like to get a new or gently used car that's a little bigger, but still in the cute, fun, small side, but still with a decent rear seating and cargo area. Do you have any recommendations? Do you know what really jumped out at me with this vehicle is get a Mini.
A Mini?
A Mini.
Yeah, a Mini Countryman?
Yeah.
A Mini Countryman is great. And by the way,
and fun.
Back to BMW with the X5, is Consumer Reports has given Mini very, very high quality scores over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And the Mini Countryman is a blast to drive.
So fun.
Or BMW X1. I was going to say something like the Kia Soul is kind of different, or the Niro. Niro, I mean, I'm not sure what kind of budget you're talking here, but...
Yeah, I mean, I just think engaging the Mini is so fun. You'd have a ton of fun with it. There's enough rear seat legroom and cargo room. It's based on that previous model, X1. Of course, there's a new Mini out now, or coming. But I don't know. Right when I read that question, I just thought of Mini.
It's a load of fun.
Yeah. I'm in the U.S. and in the market for a new plug-in hybrid, something like a Kia Sportage. I must have feature in-dash camera-driven blind spot monitoring. Are there any competitors I should consider, including luxury brands? So the Hyundai Group does basically in the dash.
Okay, so they have that. So if you're not aware, when you turn your turn signal on, a little image comes in from the mirror camera down the side of the car. That's what they want?
That's what it sounds like to
why
me.
fight it? Just get a Hyundai or a Kia.
So Genesis offers it as well. So basically the Hyundai Group, not all of their models, but many of their models have it.
Do you know what used to have it was the lane watch system on our Honda Civic. When you turn the right signal on, there's a camera down the side and it comes on the screen. But that was
they don't have it anymore.
Don't have it anymore. Listen, there's so many products in the Hyundai, Kia, Genesis family that have that.
Something.
Yeah, you'll find. To be honest with you, I never look at it. It comes on, but I don't look at it.
I don't look at it either.
I don't know if you.
Our son loves it. Charlie really likes it in the Civic.
It's good for bicycles. Like if you're looking to see a bicycle. the funny thing is, I watch these videos back as I'm editing them, and I have this bad habit of always looking at the mirrors when I'm sitting here. So the whole time
like right now, you're looking
right
at
now,
the mirrors?
like I see a car is coming behind us. I look at the mirror. I see a car going by us. I look at the side mirror. I see a dog at the park.
I always look at
right
the
now.
dogs.
There's a Toyota Corolla going around the corner up there.
Yeah.
And so it's just for me. It's my head is on a swivel. There's a Subaru Forester going by.
Yeah.
I just my whole time when I'm sitting in this seat, I'm checking everything out. So I don't use those aids because this is what I do every time even when I'm sitting here.
We're old school, baby. But our son
Andrea
loves it.
loves it. We had a neighbor who said, "Oh, I can't parallel park my SUV because there's a blind spot back there." And I said,
"Are you kidding?"
I said, "There's no blind spot because what are you doing this for when you parallel park? You use the mirrors."
We use the mirrors. We said that, and she said, "Really? You use the mirrors?" Yeah. I just couldn't imagine parallel parking without using my mirrors. It's just not what I do. Any chance the Macan gas model goes away after the EV model comes out?
No.
No, they're going to sell them together. Remember, the Macan is such a huge seller for Porsche.
Number one. It's the best
It's
seller.
their affordable SUV from Porsche. So we all know that the electric Macan is going to be expensive.
It is.
Right?
Well, they've come up with the
pricing.
pricing
Is out. It's expensive.
I think it's in Canada, and these are Canadian dollars, so they saw the press release from Canada, it's $115,000 to start.
Come on. If people are trying to get into Porsche and they get the Macan, it's reasonably priced for a Porsche.
Yeah,
okay?
they'll
Porsche. I'm not saying it's reasonably priced, but for a Porsche, yeah.
There's going to be parallel production because as Porsche has learned from others, you can't bank on sales of EVs.
No.
Is there going to be enough to sustain financially the company and demand for the cars overall? They'll wait that one out and they'll keep producing those cars in parallel until they get to a point where they can just switch them over.
Love the show. Thank you. Have you heard about any plans for Toyota to spruce up the interior of the Corolla Cross Hybrid? I get that Toyota doesn't have the most refined interiors, but the Cross is pretty Spartan, even by Toyota standards.
It's 1 year old.
It's not getting anything.
Not a chance it's getting an update. You would have to wait the third or fourth year for them to update that.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? Toyota interiors, I don't know. Do you really think that the Corolla Cross Hybrid is any different than some of the others?
Basic.
I mean,
it's basic.
Toyota interiors are quite plain.
Yes, they are.
I mean, depending on the model you get, like, of course, the Signia by Toyota, that shocked me because that's like Lexus light inside. But no, nothing is going to be coming for the Corolla Cross Hybrid.
You have to get your jollies knowing that you're saving all of that money on gas. That's what gets you excited, not the interior.
And the hybrid steering is super vague. It is so light. And by the way, it has a sport tune suspension,
You'd
but
never
you'd
know
never know it.
Jinx.
Just so you know. Yeah, jinx. We enjoy your car reviews and have learned many aspects of the auto industry. Thank you. My question is, why do some EV manufacturers don't have reverse charging vehicle to home? I like the capability of this feature for when we lose power at our home. The EV can power the home.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think it's going to come for most brands.
For sure.
I don't think it's set in stone right now with a lot of them, but there are certainly ones that are pushing that way. It makes perfect sense. I mean, you've got this is the overall, before you jump into which ones do it, the overall idea is that you have all of this energy from the grid going into batteries.
Yeah.
And then you could actually, for example, if you were away on vacation, you could sell some of that energy that you had and got overnight when it was super cheap back into the grid when it's higher cost, and you might actually be able to make a little bit of money. And it's also a surge protector for the grid. If all of these cars have the ability for the power to go in and the power to go out, there's surge protection capability. So that's really the goal. It's also not just to power your house in a power outage, but to protect the grid.
Yeah, so the Hyundai Group does it. There's many models that offer it. When we were at the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas, Kia had the Kia EV9 on display and a home in the background, and it was able to do all of that. The EV6 can, you can take the battery and it can, charge up heaters and things at campsites.
I'm not
so
sure
they
it's
all do
capable
different
of
things.
charging your house.
Not that one, but the EV9 is. Now, I also read, and some of you who know Tesla well, that Tesla also can do that now.
Ford can do it with the new Lightning.
Tesla will do it. Yeah, Ford can. And Tesla will have them all in their models by 2025, that function. I guess Elon Musk had first come out. He wasn't a huge fan of this, but now he's offering it. And GM announced that this technology will come standard in all its electric vehicles by 2026.
Oh, but if you think about it with Tesla, it's surprising that they didn't have it so far because, well, one of the reasons why they want to sell the power wall.
That's right.
So they have the Tesla solar system that goes into the power wall, but then the extra layer of battery energy storage would be the car. But maybe they didn't want to have the car do it because they sold those power walls. But if you think about it, it's not a bad little ecosystem that they could really sell to everybody.
For sure. I think all of them will get it eventually. They're just not quite there yet. But as time goes on, technology changes, and if one offers it, they all want to offer it. Love your channel, Andrea and Zach. Thank you. Thanks for being our auto advocates. I've always thought it would be fun to own a Jeep Wrangler. Are there more cons than pros to owning a Wrangler? Death, wobble, miles per gallon.
Well, the thing about the Wrangler, it's a old school 4x4 with a solid front axle, and it isn't as forgiving to drive compared to the Bronco, and that makes it more drivable to have the Ford. The great thing about Wrangler is the resale value on them is absolutely killer. So you could drive one for a couple of years, 3-4 years, and then when you go to sell it, it'll have amazing resale value. For many years, it had the highest resale value of any vehicle sold in Canada. So that's the upside. So
some pros that I was thinking about: classic, right? So much history, looks fantastic, off-road capability. Also a big enthusiast community, which relates to it having great resale value. And then of course all the different accessories you can add to make it your own. Cons: it wanders in the city and on the highway. It doesn't have the best driving dynamics. We were in the Ford Bronco and it was much better in the city and on the highway. It just didn't wander as much.
What's interesting is these types of vehicles can be, a little more to maintain, center of the lane as you're driving along. But as soon as you pull off and you get onto the gravel and the dirt and stuff like that, and then it's like an epiphany. You go, oh, I get it now. That's why they do it.
Totally.
It's for that purpose. And the problem with Jeep is that they're trail rated and have to be able to do all the stuff that Jeep means, but most people don't drive them like that.
No.
And that's where Bronco is selling incredibly well.
Fuel economy is high. It gets up there in price. Of course, you could get the plug-in hybrid. It doesn't have a lot of range, but if you stay within that daily range or close to it, you can get some pretty good fuel economy.
Do you know the #1 brand in North America for plug-in hybrids?
#1 brand for plug-in hybrids?
Sell more than anybody else.
Jeep. I was going to say Toyota.
No, Jeep. Because Toyota doesn't have a lot of plug-ins, right?
No, but
so Jeep has
popular.
Wrangler and they have the Grand Cherokee. And because of the volume they do in those two vehicles, like they do big volume in them, they have the best sales for PHEVs. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, interesting. Hi, I like watching your reviews. Thank you. I currently drive a 2019 Ford Escape. It needs some repairs like back brakes, a purge valve, and a new battery. I work and I'm about to get some inheritance. I was planning on trading it in for a new vehicle. Would you fix it or trade it in? Also, I'm not sure what to get, either a gas engine or hybrid. I only drive about 20,000 kilometers a year.
Well, it depends how much of that inheritance you want to spend on a car. I mean, is that a good use of the money? Could you use it for something else? A car that is now 5 years old, the best financial decision is to just spend some money and fix it. These are not terminal things. Like it's not, rear brakes is just a wear item, and so on. So yeah, I mean, it would cost you maybe 1,000 or 2,000 to get all of that
Yeah.
done, and then you've got a car that's good to go. So it really is a financial decision over anything else, whether you just want to keep the money or you want to take some of that and treat yourself.
That's right. I think that, like Zach said, the vehicle is fine. You can get the repairs. You'll drive it again for, how many years? A lot of years. But if you do want something new, I think a hybrid is the way to go, only because I believe that the resale value on hybrids in the future will be there for you. Sounds like you keep your vehicles for a longer period of time as well. So I would go for a hybrid.
Oh, the other one is if you really want to splash out and spend some money, a Lincoln is going to have the Nautilus with pure hybrid, and it's going to be coming out soon. And we're going to get a chance to drive it soon, so we can't wait to drive that. So that's an option.
Do you know if Nissan will come out with any hybrids for North America? And if so, when? I own a Qashqai, but I want to upgrade. Should I test drive the Crown Signia, but afraid of the price in Canada?
Okay,
Thank you. P.S. Love the show and always watch every week.
So
Awesome.
the Qashqai was sold as the Rogue Sport in the U.S., just so we know what we're talking about. And I like the Qashqai a lot, or the Rogue Sport.
Yeah, I like the Qashqai.
So there's a whole bunch of electrified vehicles they don't sell in North America, which it seems folly to me. And Nissan is got a lot of new products coming. A lot of them are EVs, though.
So talk about rumors. I mean, here again, you go online, you Google Nissan, you Google hybrids, and the rumor is that a Rogue hybrid is going to be coming out at the end of 2026. However, nothing confirmed from Nissan. And I did a little digging, and this is what I found. Nissan did announce that it will introduce 27 new electrified models, including 19 new EVs by 2030, but globally. This is globally.
Yes.
In the press release, it showed a percentage increase per market. And it said in the United States, electrified vehicles will see an increase of 40%. However, in brackets, it said EVs only. So they're not confirming hybrids. Now,
I just want to say one thing.
We're going to be
I just
seeing
want to
Nissan
say one thing
at the New York Auto Show.
Yeah, we'll ask.
And you know what? When we're sitting there at dinner time, I'm going to drill them and figure out what's going on.
So I just want to get back to the Rogue. Who's the market leader when it comes to the compact SUV?
Toyota.
Number one seller is the Toyota RAV4.
Yeah.
And that's going to get updated for 25, 26, somewhere in there. And that, in our speculation, this hasn't been confirmed, will be just hybrid. I mean, you've seen that with Camry. You've seen that with other vehicles. They've just gone hybrid. And so that's my bet. And it's a pretty safe bet. It would be pretty basic bet to put that on, that's going to come. And then you have Forester is available with a hybrid system. And you're going to have more and more. And then you've got CRV now with a couple of hybrids. Yeah. So they are going to have to come.
They need something.
If the number one seller is the RAV4 hybrid, they're going to have to come with a hybrid for that, or a plug-in.
You're right about the Signia and the price point. Pricing hasn't been released yet from Toyota, but you can bet just by the interior, just looking at that interior and the exterior, that grille, it's very Lexus-like. The pricing is not going to be inexpensive.
We had a bet on this.
It's an elevated model.
We had a bet on this.
Andrea
and I. Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did. Yes, I said, Andrea says, what do you think the Signia is going to start at?
Not the Signia. No, it wasn't the Signia.
I said it's going to start at 50.
It was the 4Runner. It wasn't the Signia. I had a thing about the Signia ground clearance, remember?
No. But okay, I'm going to go with the same price. I think the Signia in the Canadian market is going to be $59,995, just under 60 grand. That's what I think.
$59,995. Here's the issue with that.
It's the Lexus NX.
Yeah, and there's only one trim of the Signia. So it is decked out, fully loaded.
65?
I'm thinking closer to 65. 64,995.
Well, these are the numbers we came up with for 4Runner. We were guessing what the 4Runner is going to start at.
That Signia is going to be priced higher because only one trim. It comes with everything in it.
We're going to find out in April. It's April, right?
We're going to drive it
We're going to drive it in April, and we'll get the pricing then. Or sometimes you get to drive it, and then they say the pricing will be announced closer to the on-sale date. They might do some shenanigans like that, but we'll have to find out. But it won't be long now till we find out how much it's going to cost.
The Camry,
I think it's going to be $59,995. Yeah, we're going to drive the Camry, which is only hybrid, and then we're going to drive the Land Cruiser. And then we're
Land
also going to
Cruiser.
drive
There's going to be an unveiling.
of something. We're guessing it might have 4 at the beginning of it.
Nice.
And a runner at the back.
Oh, and also we're going to drive the Tacoma Hybrid. Boy, that's going to be a busy week in California for us. Stay tuned for some great content coming up. Anyway, if you want to get a question in for Questions, Coffee, and Cars, follow along on Instagram at motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Pacific time, I put a post out. It's only up for a short time. Once we gather our questions, the post is deleted and we start the show.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe.